The murder case committed by Diane Downs on May 19, 1983, in Springfield, Oregon, is still remembered as the darkest tragedy that ever shook America. Her 3 biological children were shot with a .22 caliber pistol inside a car. Cheryl Lynn, 7 years old, died instantly. Danny, 3 years old, was permanently paralyzed from the waist down. Christie, 8 years old, survived, but suffered a stroke and temporarily lost her ability to speak. To cover up her actions, Diane shot herself in the arm and then fabricated a story about a long-haired stranger who attacked them on a deserted road. However, the lie quickly fell apart. Her car was actually driving slowly to the hospital, not 100 miles per hour as she claimed. Her attitude, which was more concerned with her love life than the fate of her children, made investigators even more suspicious. The investigation then revealed a dark motive. Diane was obsessed with a man named Robert Knickerbocker, a married lover who clearly refused to live with her children. In letters and personal notes, Diane continued to write about her love for Nick and her dream of living freely with him. For the prosecutor, this was the key. The children were seen by Downs as an obstacle to her illicit relationship. For the sake of the love she pursued, she was willing to get rid of her own flesh and blood. The most devastating testimony came from Christie, the surviving child. After slowly recovering from gunshot wounds and a stroke, she was able to speak again. With a faltering voice, she told the jury that her own mother had shot them that night. The words of a small child destroyed the mother's alibi. On June 17, 1984, Diane Downs was found guilty of the murder of Cheryl, the attempted murder of Christie and Danny, and first-degree assault. The judge sentenced her to life plus 50 years, stipulating that she would be ineligible for parole for at least 25 years, and emphasizing that society should never see her free again. Christie and Danny were later adopted by prosecutor Fred Hughey and his wife Joanne, who raised them until adulthood. Meanwhile, the baby girl Diane gave birth to shortly after the trial was adopted by another family. In 1987, Diane escaped from prison for 10 days before being recaptured and receiving an additional sentence. To date, despite repeatedly applying for parole, all her requests have been denied. This story was chronicled by Anne Rule in her book Small Sacrifices, which was later adapted into a film in 1989. The Downs tragedy is not merely a criminal tale, but a stark illustration of how an obsession with dark love can transform a mother into an executioner for her own children, and how the courage of a young child can bring truth to the courtroom.